Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedics, of course, you go to Brock. You need a roof, give us a shout at Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and Boatcock Brothers. Premium cigars. Remember the Championship Cigar Box. Shipping, I believe, this week. Fired up for it, and you use the promo code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 to get 15% off your order. Okay, what a day for LSU on Saturday. Tigers on the practice field. They were donning shoulder pads, so a little more physicality. I was there. We got to watch the entirety of the practice. Pass rush was awesome in the 11-on-11 periods. Really gave the offense fits. When they went individual, the offensive line really dominated the. I shouldn't say dominated, but won the day on the pass rush drills. So tells me your offensive linemen are plenty talented enough. At this point, it's learning the offense, it's getting the system down, it's 5 working as 1, all that sort of stuff, and they'll get there. Very tough task, week 1 against Clemson, but anyway. Couple other things. Let's see. Aaron Anderson did not practice. He was there, just not practicing. Whit Weeks did some individual stuff, but did not participate in the 11-on-11 or the team period. He might have done some stuff in the 7-on-7. I candidly did not watch 7-on-7. Hunt and I sort of divided and conquered. He went and watched 7-on-7 while I watched the offensive defensive line pass rush drills. But I think he told me that Whit was doing maybe a little bit in the 7-on-7s, but it was interesting. Tylen Singleton ran with the ones in place of Whit, and then Devon Keys rotated in. I think they'll both play a bunch, but they very clearly like Tylen Singleton. Day 1, Singleton had a sack in the indoor in the hurry up no huddle period. So they like Tylen Singleton a lot. Clearly a guy that's coming into his own. What else? Both practice report, but it's up at LouisianaSports.net if you want to read the full practice report. I gave you there's my notes. Let's see what else. When they did the cornerback receiver drill with the DBs against wide receivers, Nuss completed 7 of his 10 passes. The offense was 12 of 20. So actually, I mean, the defense got some wins. Some of it was just misses, like Van Buren. Barry Brown had beaten Jakeem Jackson, and Van Buren overthrew him. Nuss threw one to Xavion Thomas where Thomas was behind Ashton Stamps, and Nuss kind of underthrew him a bit. Better underthrow him than overthrow him. It allowed Stamps to recover. He made a play. Highlight reel was Barry Brown against Jakeem Jackson the next time they went one-on-one. Barry Brown beat him by 5 yards. I mean, just dusted him. I mean, like standing still. Incredible. Like Barry Brown, I'm not trying to hype him. It's just... I would also be disingenuous if I was not telling you how good he looks. I mean, it's just, when I look at Barry Brown's stats from last year at Kentucky, it's crazy. Like, they didn't know what to do with him. Last year, he caught 29 passes for 361 yards. He went from 50 receptions as a freshman to 43 to 29. Like, just hike, boom, 6, go. I mean, it's stunning. Nick Anderson completed. It was a jump ball. It was Nick Anderson against Mansour Delane. Jump ball. Nick came down with it. Some nice wins there. Anyway, so good practice. They have the day off today. Today's a recovery day. They're back at it tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have not yet gotten our media availability for the week, but when we have it, we'll let you know. All right. And then, of course, LSU lands Deuce Geralds. Great. That's a great pickup, man. That's a top 100 overall prospect, one of the best defensive line prospects in America, and you are now building a defensive line class that maybe is the best ever. You've got Lamar Brown and Trenton Henderson, 2 5-star edge players. Richard Anderson, who's a 5-star tackle, and now Deuce Geralds, who's a high 4-star, top 100 overall. ESPN rates him as the number 2 defensive tackle in the country. So, and then you also have DeAnthony Lafayette and Darius McKinley. It's the talent's pretty incredible. And then you're going to blend that next year with Don McKinley and Ahmad Bro and the freshmen you just signed this year. And, some of these guys that look incredible, like Damian Shanklin and CJ Jackson. They're impressive, man. They're an impressive looking group for the first time in a long time. All right, let's say some good mornings, y'all. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Hey, Chef, Thomas, Kelly, Bubba, good morning. Jesse Post, good morning. Caleb, wore my gold Cade yesterday. Yeah, that's right. I got the Cade shirt on. It's in the rotation. Hey, Brennan, good morning. Casey, good morning. Scone, Team Dale, Sophia, and haters. Not down with you. Chowalt1, what's up? Official Friday. The Clemson reporter's voice cracks me up. Great interview, by the way. Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you. You had a Clemson beat writer on this week. Just kind of a catch up on Clemson as they started fall camp this week as well. They got to figure out running back. And they got one of the best receiving corps in the country returning, one of the best defensive lines in the country returning. So they're a good team, man. It's a really good team. I saw the preseason All ACC team came out, and Clemson had 11 guys on the preseason All ACC team. I think 3 offensive linemen. That's crazy. You just, for one team to have 11 guys on the preseason All ACC team. Yeah. Klubnik, Antonio Williams, Bryant Wesco. Those are 2 receivers. And then the 3 offensive linemen are Blake Miller, Walker Parks, and Ryan Linthicum, who's their center. On defense, TJ Parker, who's the edge. He's the one that said about Brian Kelly, we'll handle it on August 30th. Peter Woods, defensive tackle. Wade Wood is linebacker. Sammy Brown, linebacker. And then that's it. Yeah, they didn't have any of the specialists. So offense had quarterback, 2 receivers, and 3 offensive linemen. That was 6. And then defense had defensive end, defensive tackle, 2 linebackers. Cornerback. A.J. Terrell's brother. That's right. He's the other one. So they're good. Okay. Survivors remorse need to get Blaine and Gray now. So there, as I understand it, there's 3 more prospects that they're at 18 commits right now. They're not going to get to 25 or 30. There's 3 more. So it's Jace Matthews, the receiver out of Mississippi. It's Darius Gray, the offensive lineman out of Maryland. He's from Baltimore. He's in Baltimore. Richmond, Virginia, sorry. And then Blaine Bradford is the third. So flipping Blaine Bradford is not going to be an easy thing to do, but they're going to keep plowing away, and you have until December, and if nothing else, you have until December to try to convince him not to sign in December and say just wait till February, because like at Catholic you can't graduate early, so he's not going to be a January enrollee wherever he goes, so he can wait till February to sign. Remember LSU did this with Don McKinley. Terry Bussey was the other one. Terry Bussey was committed to A&M, and LSU got him to not sign in December, to take an official to LSU, make his decision in February. He stuck with A&M, but LSU at least was able to make their pitch. So we'll see. Make defense great again. Matt, do you feel better or worse about this team after this week? Do you think the OL will be fine? Will Karis Kern end up starting? How good will the defense be? I do not think Karis Kern will end up starting. And I think the O-line will be fine. I think so typically when you go into fall camp, the defense is ahead of the offense. That's typically how it works, because defense is more read and react, can play fast, all that sort of stuff. Offense is learning a scheme, a system. Quarterbacks and receivers are learning timing with one another. But until they put on pads, it's hard to block. There's no real physicality. The defense is usually ahead of the offense. Like in 2023, when the offense was just torching the defense, I mean, obviously that offense ended up being the best offense in the country, and the defense was also awful. So I'm actually encouraged the defense is playing well, because I know this offense is going to be really good. Like, they've got the quarterback and the skill guys, and they've got enough talent on the offensive line. Like, the offense is going to be really good. For LSU to get where they want to go, the defense has to improve dramatically. So the fact that the defense is performing in spots is encouraging. And I think what I would say is, being out there, three times now out of the four workouts, I would tell you the depth on defense is maybe the most impressive thing. Like, when the twos are out there and it's Patrick Payton and Jamari Butler at end, and Jacoby and Guillory, and Bernard Gooden at tackle, and you've got Jakeem Jackson and PJ Woodland at corners, and Fitzjardin Gilbert and Deshaun Spears at safety. Like, I was talking about this with Hannegriff yesterday. Just if you look at your twos, guys who are running second team, you've got like 120 games or 120 like game played or starts among your twos. So I think your depth on defense is incredible this year. I do not think Karis Kern ends up starting as a freshman. I just think the defense clearly has improved their talent, and they're ahead of the offense right now. Hey, Devin, good morning. Bauer Sharp, the new transfer tight end, has he had trouble with run blocking and pass rush? Seems like OU media guys think he wasn't good at that last year. Have you noticed that? From what we've seen so far, Devin, is like they haven't been using the tight ends to pass protect. Like, they haven't gone max protection. They're throwing the ball to Bauer Sharp. Like, I mean, I even referenced in the practice. In that team offensive period when they went hurry up against air, the first play they ran was a screen pass to Bauer Sharp. When the threes were out there, they ran a tight end screen to Donovan Green, excuse me. So, like, they're throwing the ball to him, but we're not really seeing a lot of pass blocking or run blocking yet from the tight ends. They will, but we just haven't seen much of that. Hey, Jesse, good morning. I think Rattler wins a starting QB job. Okay. Tell me about the O-line, please. Yeah, so they've stuck with the first unit every time we've been out there. So left to right, it's Tyree Adams, DJ Chester's left guard, Braylon Moore center. And Brian Kelly said Braylon Moore's the starting center. Chester's battling for the left guard job. Braylon Moore's the center. Duh. Josh Thompson, the Northwestern transfer, is at right guard, and Weston Davis is at right tackle. Weston Davis had a very good day yesterday, by the way. I mean, he's a former 5-star. Like you expect those guys to perform well. They got to, right? Your number 2 offensive line from left to right, Karius Kearns at left tackle. Paul Mabenga is at left guard. They're running Braden Augustus at center with the 2s. He's a former walk-on, but he's not going to be the second center that goes in. It's just because Chester is battling for a starting job and Cohen Eccles is battling Josh Thompson for the right guard job. So, like, your first 3 centers would be Moore, Chester, Eccles. But Eccles is trying to battle for the right guard job, so he's running with the 2s at right guard instead of at center. And then your second right tackle is Bo Bordelon. But like in the team period yesterday, like in the team periods, like the first 11 on 11, the first team offense ran 6 plays. Nuss didn't complete a pass. They ran direct snap to Juwan Johnson, who, by the way, was playing running back yesterday. Nuss scrambled to the sideline. He was flushed, scrambled right, threw to the sideline, intended for Xavier Thomas, who was incomplete, tight coverage by Ashton Stamps. They ran it with Caden Durham. They ran another play run with Caden Durham, and he scored a touchdown. This was like a 40-yard run. He would have scored. Like, it's not one of those where they touched him, but it's not tackled, so he kept running. It was like nobody touched him. He went left side between Tyree Adams and DJ Chester and just found a crease and hit it, exploded. Nobody touched him. It was pretty cool. 5th play, they ran play action. So Nuss runs play action. It's good coverage. He has to roll to his left. He has to scramble to avoid the rush, and he just throws it away. And then on the 6th play, they ran it with Durham again, and West Weeks and Jack Pyburn were there to stuff it for no gain. So, like, as good as I think this offense is going to be, that defensive front and the pass rush has been really good. In the next 11 on 11 period, they ran with Caden Durham, completion of Bauer Sharp. God. It's about a 5-yard gain, but it was Tamarcus Cooley on coverage, and Cooley decleated him. I mean, it wasn't even like a full contact period. Then PJ Woodland had a pass breakup on Xavier Thomas when Xavier lost his helmet. Xavier found some space in the zone, and Nuss was probably a little too casual with the throw, and PJ closed and knocked Xavier's helmet off. Then they ran it with Caleb Jackson. AJ Halsey came up from a safety spot to fill with a stuff at the line of scrimmage. And then Nuss threw a touchdown pass to Chris Hilton. It was awful PI on Jakeem Jackson. And like Jakeem Jackson, he was beat. He grabs Hilton and kind of pulls him around. Hilton makes like a one-handed catch, sheds Jackson, and then scores. But the cool thing about that is we saw this different defensive line formation. Like they were in their NASCAR pass rush, whatever package. They went, so it was Kalaj Cobbins at left end, Jack Pyburn and Bernard Gooden on the interior, and Patrick Payton at right end. It was pretty cool to see. Like they're so deep, they're going to be able to rotate a bunch of dudes with a bunch of different odd fronts. All right. Anyway, you asked about the O-line. The other thing I was going to tell about the O-line was the one-on-one matchups. So let's see. So when they did their pass rush drill, let's see. Each starter did 2 reps. So left tackle, like Tyree Adams, did 2 reps. He went against Harold Perkins and against Jack Pyburn. Chester went against Bernard Gooden twice. Moore went against Ahmad Bro twice. Josh Thompson went against Don McKinley twice. And then Weston Davis went against Gabe Relaford and then Patrick Payton. Perkins beat Adams. Then Adams and Pyburn pushed. Chester and Bernard Gooden split their reps. Moore split his reps against Bro. Thompson won his first rep against McKinley. Then they had a push. And Weston Davis won his reps against Relaford and Patrick Payton. Offense did pretty well. Hey, Blake, any notes on Perkins? Yeah, man. Harold Perkins had a sack in the 11-on-11 period on, was it yesterday? Days are running together, forgive me. It might have been the most important thing for Harold is that he's playing with no limitations. I'm trying to find him. Forgive me. I'm just searching through my notes. I can't find it. Anyway, Perkins had a sack in one of the team periods. He beat Tyree Adams in his one-on-one in the pass rush drill, and then he beat, let's see, and he took reps in the receiver DB drill, like in pass coverage. He beat Bauer Sharp on a rep yesterday. I thought there was another rep that he took. I'm just looking. I got so many notes, y'all. Sorry. Beat Bauer Sharp on a rep. I thought it took 2. I need to search for it. Anyway, yeah, Perkins has looked good. The best part is like there's no limitations. He's not wearing a brace. He's out there running around awesome. He's winning reps. He just doesn't have to do everything, which is good. Yeah, Halsey looks really good, man. I mentioned he had a Halsey and Cooley, the 2 transfers, were running first team safety yesterday, which is what it's going to be against Clemson. And he looks really good, man. Had a nice, as I mentioned, he had a stuff on Caleb Jackson in 11-on-11s. Then he had coverage on 14. Trey Dez. He had coverage on Trey Dez. Did they have 2 reps against each other? No. So Halsey won both of his reps. He had coverage on Trey Dez and Nuss overthrew him. And then he had coverage on Kyle Parker and he undercut the route. And it was actually coming right toward us. He undercut the route and knocked it into the ground with great coverage. Halsey was really good. He's their best safety. I mean, it's clear he's their best safety. Thomas, let's go, haters. It's on the way, haters. Oh, man, I'm 20 minutes behind on comments. Bubba, good morning. Abner, good morning. Brown is different. Yes, Barry and Brown looks awesome. Even though. Hey, Robert, good morning. Can't help but feel this roster having so much talent can make a serious run. I feel like Vegas odds on wins is low. Thoughts? I mean, I've said that from the beginning. Like if they're at 8.5, I mean, the floor for this team needs to be 9-3 floor. Like, floor needs to be 9-3. If they win 8 games, if they go 8-4, it is a cataclysmic failure if they go 8-4. Matt, is whiskey and wine canceled? I haven't made the decision yet what we're going to do with whiskey and wine. Obviously, there's no T-Bob. I don't have a very obvious choice for a replacement. So we're trying to figure out what we're going to do. And we got a month, and so we haven't made that decision yet. But we'll decide, and we'll let y'all know what we're going to do. Let's see. Trans Day yesterday. Oh, whenever I'm driving, I can't play it. So it doesn't count. The jingle. Barry Brown won Kentucky game versus Ole Miss over Trey Amos. I don't know how that guy had 29 catches last year. That's stunning to me. Like, I would have given on that Kentucky team, he would have had 29 catches a game. Hey, Ryan, Amanda Gidry, good morning. Robbie, morning, Matt. Not a fan of rugby. Did you hear about Nola Gold not being a franchise anymore? I wish New Orleans would bring back the Zephyrs. I did not hear about the Nola Gold. Sorry about that. Sorry to hear about that. It's very hard, man. Very hard for anything in this state that's not purple and gold or black and gold to succeed. It just is. It's hard for it to succeed. Let's see. Future looks great for the defense. Yes, it does. Brian, good morning, Matt. How do you feel about the freak show athlete Deuce Geralds? I think, yes, Brian. I do think we need to see them get to campus and stay and develop. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about you're talking about 3 5-stars plus Deuce Geralds among your D-line commits for this class. Yes, that's how it's supposed to look. Like in 2011 when LSU had Mingo and Montgomery and Michael Brockers and Benny Logan and Freak Johnson and Ego Ferguson and Chancey Aguirre and LeVar Edwards. Yes, I mean, that's when you're just rotating 4 and 5 stars and you got 8, 10 guys. I mean, yes, that's what this kind of feels like. It has been a long time since it's been like that. Yo, man, good morning. Brian Broom, good morning. Michael Cook, good morning. Matt, I was at Baton Rouge Rouge Championship game. Congrats. Oh, they won. Oh, that's great. Congrats, man. I missed that last night. So last night was the Catholic High Grizzly Greats induction ceremony. So 5 new members of the Grizzly Greats inducted, which was awesome. So they always ask me to come MC that event. So I was happy to do that last night. Hey, Brian, good morning from Rochester, Minnesota. I've been to Rochester, Minnesota. Congratulations to the Rougarou. There you go. All right, Brian, hope you're doing great, man. Hey, Brad. Good morning. LSU Monster, Survivor's Remorse, Bad ACC, or Good Clemson? Both. Skip Burtman was there. So Skip Burtman's grandson, Ezra, pitched for the Rougarou this summer. So that's cool. Hey, Taylor, good morning. Okay, yeah, Virginia. So, yeah, I'm way behind on comments now. There you go. Whiskey wine. Sorry, I was way behind on comments. Tim, good morning, Scone. Sorry, this is off topic. Heard a rumor over here in Pensacola. Kate Anderson might be coming here pitching for the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. Heard anything on that? I have not. That's the Seattle Mariners will make a decision where to place him within their organization, and I have no idea what the Seattle Mariners are going to do. Blaine posted Lamar Sweet. Yeah, so I saw that. So my feeling on that is so many of these guys get to know each other throughout the recruiting process. They take visits with each other. They're at games together. And so when their friend commits somewhere and they share their friend's commitment, I think adults in the room are reading way too much into that. I think that's just them, giving a shout out to their boy, my guy committed, congratulations sort of thing. It doesn't mean he's flipping LSU. I'm not saying he won't. And I saw this 94% flipped. I just think Blaine's just a little different, y'all. like a different level of mature kind of kid. You know, like I wish they'd see all of his stories on everything. I mean, I get like he on his Instagram story shared Deuce Geralds thing, his commitment post. But like, I bet he's done 100 of those. We just haven't noticed because it hasn't been guys committed to LSU. Anyway, whatever. Long way to go to December. We'll see. Tim Austin, good morning. Help me congratulate my beautiful wife Emily becoming an American citizen. That is awesome. All right, congratulations to Emily. Fantastic news, man. Welcome to the party. Greatest country in the world, the history of the world. Do we have our flaws? Absolutely. But the land of the free and the home of the brave, man. That's awesome. Congratulations to Emily. I got to meet Emily last year in Vegas at the USC game. So glad to have y'all back in Louisiana. Congratulations to Emily. That's amazing, man. That is amazing. So Emily is Irish. For those that Austin didn't share that, but she's Irish, and she and Austin get married and they live here, and beautiful family and great people. So happy for y'all, man. That's great news. There you go. Good afternoon from Albania, repping the P and the G. Anyone else reminded of the Road Warriors when watching Pyburn and Witt? I don't know Road Warriors, but those dudes are going to have a big impact on this defense. Let's see. Let's see. I really like Buff SpongeBob. I really like how they haven't rotated the starting 5-0 line. Look, man. I didn't have any inside information on what they were going to do, but if you go back and go to look at the Locked On, the offensive preview, or anything we talked about, like I told you, this was what I thought they were going to do on the offensive line. It's not like I'm some savant. It's just center was their weakest spot on the offensive line a year ago. They went and got Braylon Moore, who's got 24, 25 starts, whatever, at Virginia Tech, to come in to be your starting center. He's going to be your starting center. DJ Chester started 13 games a year ago. He's a really talented, big, strong dude, but he is a guard. He's not a center. They were going to play Chester at guard. So they moved him to guard naturally. They went and got Josh Thompson, who could play guard or tackle. Well, ideally, they want to play guard. If he has to play tackle because one of the tackles can't hang, they'll move him out to tackle. But he's playing guard. Like, it's very obvious that this was how they were going to start. Now, if somebody is just completely incapable, which I don't think is going to be the case, they'll flip it. But you have a month, you have 4 weeks to get these guys continuity in over 21 practices of camp, up until game week, to get them some continuity and then get a game plan in there. So it's going to be different when they're playing a game for real, but you got 21 practices to get these guys working together to get ready for that game. Now, I wish they had a layup before they played Clemson. I wish they could play Southeastern and then play Clemson, just to go do it for real once before you had to go do it for real there. But it's what it is, man. Happy we finally have a rotating front seven. The secondary needs to get back to DBU. They're on their way, man. Look, I had a conversation yesterday with someone who was pretty adamant that DJ Pickett's going to end up starting. Right now, he's running with the twos. It's Mansour Delane and Ashton Stamps who are the first corners. And maybe what happens is because they'll run a ton of nickel. Maybe Stamps ends up playing nickel if Delane and Pickett end up as your boundary corners, which could very well happen. But they are challenging DJ Pickett. Like yesterday in the cornerback receiver drills, Pickett was on Chris Hilton, and Hilton beat him twice. And that's going to happen. Hilton's going to beat a lot of guys, let alone a true freshman in his first week of fall camp, But anyway, I think you're going to be, with Cooley and Halsey, you are going to be so much better at safety. Oh, they were so bad at safety last year. Just that talent upgrade makes you that much better instantly. Hey, Brian, LSU has taken the fight directly to Clemson with the interior offensive defensive line. Everything else falls in place afterwards. Yeah, I just don't know if that's going to be their strength, Brian. At least not on offense. I think using their speed, getting the perimeter, throwing the ball in space, that's going to be their strength. I don't know that they're going to be a power run team. I'd love to see it. Leon, good morning. Listening to Stinchcom talk about the O-line on AFR gives me hope, even if our roster is the worst in the league. Penning's going to maul as a guard, help Kamara get 1,000 yards easy. Yeah, I just don't know if I believe that. They got to stay healthy. And I need to see about Alvin. Is last year a resurgence or was it a flash in the pan? Because he had 3 years of declining production before last year. Christian, how's the safety group progressing? Really good. And Weston Davis had a great day yesterday at right tackle. One time during 11 on 11, he's blocking 10 yards downfield. Frank Wilson's like, I see you, Weston Davis. He was good. That's a guy. I'd be surprised if Weston didn't become a multi-year starter at this point. He's got all the size and the ability and all that sort of stuff. He just needs the experience now. Another guy I watched said Sharp knocked Weeks out of practice yesterday from a big block. Okay. I can ask about that. Again, we didn't have practice. We didn't have availability on Friday to see what happened. But Weeks was at practice yesterday. He was just limited. He did the individual stuff. He just didn't do the team stuff. Oh, wait, you're saying that Sharp knocked Weeks out yesterday? No, because Witt was there doing the individual stuff, and he did some 7-on-7 stuff. He just didn't do any of the team period stuff. Unless if you're talking about Friday when we weren't able to see. Good morning. Not worried about O-line when they are going to work hard. They have a chip because people don't think they're going to be good. Brambo, we all agree O-line will be tested. Clemson's returning 3 starting wide receivers who are really good. True. Secondary will be tested. That also tests D-line's ability to get pressure. Yep. Remember, there were a good bit of times Joe Burrow and Daniels had to run away from the pocket. It's up to us to extend plays. Do the vibes at practice feel different with this squad? I've had people internally tell me that the vibes, the confidence, the leadership, the communication, all that is really good. That's a lot of stuff that we don't get to see. You know what I mean? We're not at the team meals. We're not in the meeting rooms. We're not there when they're breaking down the huddle. We're not there in the locker room. There's a lot of stuff we don't see, I can tell you one thing that was evident last year was just the energy on defense, and that was directly attributed to Blake Baker. He is young and keeps it fun and loose for the defense, and so there is a lot of that. Something I mentioned on Locked on LSU, if you watch it or listen to it, thank you. But yesterday when they were doing the pass rush drill, the one-on-ones with the defensive line against the offensive line, Bernard Gooden was going against DJ Chester. And I had refs at practice yesterday, by the way, as well. So they were looking for holding. Bernard Gooden never shuts up. I mean, loud stuff that I can't repeat here. But he is, mark my words, he reminds me of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He's the guy that is going to get the other team to retaliate because he never shuts up. Those things when you're watching and all of a sudden, your guys talk to whatever, and then the player hits him in the face mask to get him to shove, and they draw the 15-yard penalty. That's going to happen with Bernard Gooden. Because at one point, Kyle Williams told him, he's like, hey, man, shut the bleep up and play football. But you can get away with it when you're a good player, and he's a good player. Anyway. Morning, Matt. What's the deal with Witt and Aaron Anderson missing practice? So Aaron Anderson had a sleeve on his leg. We don't know the nature. We'll talk to BK the next time we get Brian Kelly availability, we'll ask him about it. And he gives us updates. So, and then we don't know about Witt. Witt was out there yesterday. And he did individual, and then he did 7-on-7. Again, I wasn't watching 7-on-7. Hunt was watching 7-on-7. I went and watched the offensive defensive line pass rush drill. They were coinciding there. But then he did not do the team periods, so don't know. Yeah, Halsey's Mr. Give Me That. Yeah. We had Halsey on the show whenever he committed. I'm gonna get him back. Maybe when they have a day off. I mean, they're off today, but I think they have a day off one day this week. Let's see if we can get him back on the show. Hey, Tony, why can't you do Whiskey and Wine and have T-Bob come in remote? T-Bob lives in Chicago. I think that's going to happen. Sabre, morning, Matt. How does Jackson look? And by the way, I don't think Barstool let him do it. How does Jackson look? Or there another running back emerging as number 2? No, I think it's safe that Caleb Jackson's the number 2. The interesting note yesterday was that Juwan Johnson was playing running back. The first play in 11-on-11 was a direct snap to Juwan Johnson, not as a quarterback. Like Nuss was in the backfield and kind of did the thing where he steps toward the line like he's going to bark a command, and they direct snapped it right to Juwan. So we saw him do that in the spring game as well. They did that at the goal line where Nuss was. So we've seen that play. I mean, that's something they're going to do. They're going to have Juwan Johnson in the backfield. I mean, he's the only of the quarterbacks that's not wearing a red jersey because they're running him at running back too. So don't be surprised when you see 8 at running back. Like they're just determined to run the ball. They're going to be creative in how they do it. But they were 104th in the country in rushing offense a year ago. Like they have to run the football. Like they have to run the football. And so they're going to find every creative way that they can do it. That's why someone who said earlier, they'll dominate the interior, and like I don't think that's what this team is going to be. But they're going to be creative in the way that they manufacture a rushing offense.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. At Parrish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Parrish built. Parrish built. Parrish built. From your hometown, parrishbuilt.com.
All right, Parrish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock and Roof, call Parrish. Hey, remember Unique Physique, semaglutide, tirzepatide, lowest prices, never any contracts, and they'll ship your medicine anywhere in the country. It's semaglutide, tirzepatide, the weight loss shots, GLP-1s. Check them out, uniquephysique.com. And book a session with Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions. Y'all, one more reminder, Bocock Brothers, the baseball championship cigar boxes are in. They should be shipping soon. So if you're interested, snag them, BocockBrothers.com. Use the code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. Ron, I'm sure you answered this many times. Update on I've been asked that many times today. Good morning. Is there possible to order one of those Cade shirts? Yeah, it's at 929 Misfits. Hang on. Let me put the link. I'll put the link in here. Here you go. I'm dropping the Misfits link in the chat for those who are interested. It's like the Cade shirts are in there still. All the championship shirts that were designed, the 117 AM, the Omaha shirts that were really popular. Some really good stuff. I'm sure we'll have some. I'd get some football stuff, some new football designs coming for the football season. But yeah, 929misfits.com. I just dropped the link. Let's see. Glenda, Tyga Poppy, Manny. Can you speak on Clemson receivers? Do you have a video posted? I'll do that. But they're really good. I mean, I think it was Athlon that did position group rankings recently. And, they had like the top 5 receiver rooms in the country, and Clemson was number 2 behind Ohio State. So, I mean, they're really good. Carl, should Ronnie come back on AFR after getting AFR karma? Congratulations to the recruit. Okay. So then I would not assume that Cade Anderson would be going to Pensacola, if that's the case. Jeremy, LSU offensive line plays 2 of the best D-lines in the country the first 3 weeks. Not a deal for brand new offensive line. Agreed. Sam Petito, but yes. Great write-up of Hunt yesterday. Hunt and Matt. Yeah, it's our notes. We combined our notes for the write-up at LouisianaSports.net. Her D-line prospect, Forstall, left Jesuit for IMG. Yes. I don't think that really matters. Hey, Dad, good morning. Pate's new video has LSU season prediction 9-3. Yeah, I talked to Josh at Media Days, and I haven't watched what he put, but he kind of described LSU as like that team with the real boom potential, but maybe a little got to see it to believe it sort of thing. Like if they opened up with Wake Forest instead of Clemson, I'm sure everybody would be picking LSU 10-2. The Clemson thing is, I think, the big hang up for a lot of teams, or a lot of people trying to predict LSU to be a championship team. Rex, good morning. If you need to give your Wellers away, I don't need to give away my Wellers. Thank you. Malik, talent's there to get back to DBU. I think Delane moves inside. I disagree with you completely. Monster Delane is the best cornerback they have. No. Monster Delane's the best cornerback they have right now. And West Weeks was 100% at practice day yesterday. West was running first team with Tylen Singleton first, and then they rotated in Devon Keys. Witt was the one that didn't participate in 11 on 11. Matt, if Bo Davis was still here, are we still in for Geralds? Good question. I don't know the answer to that. And I'm glad that we don't have to find out, but I don't know. But having, I still think you're recruiting a top 100 defensive lineman with ties to Baton Rouge, no matter what. But I don't know. I'm glad we don't have to find out. Hey, James, good morning. Trivia, good morning. Randy, he ran one. Perkins, I told you, he had one rep yesterday in 11 in the cornerback receiver drill, and he was against Bauer Sharp, and it was Colin Hurley who threw the pass. I don't know why. I guess they were rotating quarterbacks at that point. LSU Monster, can you get Tank back on AFR? He's a great interview. Love his candor. Tank. Oh, Jacoby and Guillory? Oh, yeah, we can do that for sure. 89 down, 90. Groove is again. What have you seen from special team standpoint from the new analyst? Yeah. So the two guys that are running the special teams drills. So Aman Anand is the guy they brought in from Grambling, and then Lance Guidry is also working on the special teams units. It is also important to note, while he may not be coaching on the field, Eric Held, who's the new director of high school relations for LSU, is the head of Louisiana High School Coaches Association, now is on LSU staff. Held by trade is a special teams guy, and is a very, very smart special teams coach. So that's another resource you have there. Ramos has missed some kicks early, but it kind of feels like a golfer on the range, just still getting his timing. Like, he'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. Burrell has a massive leg. He was even working. Burrell and Ramos are also punting as well, just for backup, right? So you've got Grant Chadwick, who you brought in from Middle Tennessee, and then Badger Hargett's the other punter. But they're letting Burrell and Ramos punt also, as like just in case. Absolutely believe Burrell will kick off again. And I had someone in the program tell me that they think by the time, remember, Grant Chadwick was just a freshman last year at Middle Tennessee, that he'll leave LSU as the best punter in program history. Now, that seems like a very lofty statement, but he is a tall, like long, lanky kid. He is wiry, Grant Chadwick. He is listed at 6'5", 205. I mean, he is like, just, he is very vertical. And he kicks the mess out of the ball. Remember, he's also Chadwick's also the holder now. So you get a new holder on field goal PAT. Ferguson's back as the snapper. So Jonathan Ferguson. So looks good. The one concern so far has just been Ramos getting his accuracy. You know, he hit PAT off the upright yesterday. Went in, but hit off the upright and went in. Chance, is Frank Wilson recruited third generation yet? I don't know. It's a good question. I'll ask him. Matt, this will sound funny. Do you ever groove with the Parish Construction Roofing song? Of course I do. It's the greatest jingle ever. Buy a roof from Parish. Quinn, who do you think get the 18 jersey? Maybe Nussmeier. I don't know if they'll do offense and defense. Maybe like Nussmeier, Jacoby, and Guillory. Or Witt. I mean, I don't really. I'll talk about it before. I don't care about the jersey number thing, man. I just don't. Like, it's just not 18 and 7, or like it doesn't move me. I'll talk about it because you all talk about it. But my opinion has always been, I would rather you go make a legacy in your own jersey number. Like, I would have rathered Harold Perkins stay at 40 and been, or 4 and been the greatest ever in that number. Or whatever, name it. Like Nuss, I'd prefer Nuss to stay in 13, but if he gets 18, he's going to take it, so whatever. And if it's a motivator for them, for the players, then great. If they're excited about it, cool. I just don't care. I don't. I've always put a poop emoji on the front of a jersey. I don't care. Like, just go play. Matt, are you the guy on Twitter that feeds the pig in the bathroom while jamming? I don't even know what that. No, I don't even know what that means. Stamp's not going inside. LOL, we know that. I wouldn't be so sure, man. I think there's a real chance that happens if you're trying to get your best 5 on the field. But Mansour Delane is going to be a starting boundary corner. And if Pickett overtakes Stamps could be your nickel. Woodland played nickel last year. I think he's played well there this year as well. But they got options, I guess, is the good news. Randy, what's going on? Hayden, let's see. Good morning. Wondering how Keelan Mo's looking. Keelan looks good, man. The first day when they were outside in 11 on 11, he was running with the twos, but might have been the third unit. But he jumped a route, nearly had a pick six, hit him right in the helmet, and he dropped it. But he's a big kid, man. He's very clearly from spring to now focused on nutrition and weight training and continuing to develop his body. Keelan's wearing 32. Looks really all the freshman linebackers look awesome. Keelan, Jaden Breaker, CJ Jim Coyley. You're like where's 31? Charles Ross. I mean, the freshman linebackers. Remember, they signed 4 or 5 freshman linebackers. Am I missing somebody? Jaden Breaker. It's Breaker, Ross, Jim Coyley, Keelan. Zach Weeks, who by the way is Zach Weeks is 6'3", 230. He is massive, and he's the one that should be going into his high school senior year. That's one of those where if Zach Weeks had stayed in school for his senior year and been part of next year's class, like he might have been the number 1 linebacker of the country next year. Like he is massive. Like he's bigger than the other 2 already. Witt is, let's see, West is 6'2", 235. Witt is 6'2", 225. Zach is 6'3", 230. I'm telling you, line them all up side by side. Zach's the biggest of all 3 of them already. I gotta get going. Gotta go to church. If we're gonna play top 10 teams right off the bat every year, how come Brian Kelly doesn't get some of them as home games? By the way, good morning. Well, next year they're playing Clemson at home, and they're all home and homes. Like if they're playing a home and home, you're gonna get the home game returned. But the neutral sites are just more profitable because you don't have to make the return trip. You play the neutral site, you show up, you get a check, and and you go. You don't have to go play, because when you play the true road game, you don't get the payout that you do of a neutral site or a home game. I love that Master P Classic. Make him say, I'm on and on. Oh, I got it. Make him say, I'm on and on. I got it. Good. Hi, buddy. Good morning. 10:50. Wow. Drew's just waking up at 10:50. Saints related, really interested about the secondary. Taylor's way better as an inside slot. Blackman Reed at safety is an underrated tandem. Kool-Aid can make big year 2 jump. I don't disagree with any of that. Alontae Taylor's better as the nickel. Blackman and Reed, I think, will be a good safety tandem. And I hope Kool-Aid does make a big jump in year 2. I agree with all that. Hey, Ben. Let's see. I said Delane because of versatility. You'll be able to keep your best 3 on the field. Delane would be the best fit out of the 3. I wouldn't say won't play outside, only inside in nickel. Yeah, I just disagree with you. Monster Delane's going to play boundary corner. He is so very clearly their best guy right now. He is going to play boundary corner. And it may be where Pickett continues to ascend and plays out there as well, but that forces Stamps inside, which is probably better for Ashton Stamps anyway. I hate when number 7 seems forced on the player. Chase and Booty played better wearing number 1. I don't think that had anything to do with anything. Chase never played with 7. Remember, I mean, that was the COVID year, and he opted out. So, yeah, I don't think it's forced. I think they're happy to wear it, but whatever. I heard Breaker looks like a dude. I'm telling you, man, all those freshman linebackers look awesome. I mean, I don't think any of them are going to play this year. Just, I mean, to be very clear, like you've got Whit Weeks, who's a potential American. You got West, who's a 5th-year senior, and then you've got Singleton and Keys played a bunch at the end of last year. And that's 4 right there. Like you'd have to get pretty deep into the rotation, before you get to any of the freshmen. Hi, you want to say hi to Dad Show? Huh? You want to say hi to Dad Show? You want to say hi to Dad Show? Hey, when do you come here? Go. Here you go. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel there on YouTube, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We all know Stamps is not right. I mean, Minato Stamps has played a lot the last 2 years. As a freshman, he played out of necessity. Last year, played better, but not great. Did lead the team in pass breakups last year. I think just because a lot of teams were avoiding Zai, because Zai was a better guy, so they threw with Stamps. But I think the real question about at corner is, what do you have in freshman DJ Pickett? Like, is freshman DJ Pickett like freshman Pat Pete, freshman Derek Stingley? Or is he like freshman Tre'Davious White, freshman Eli Ricks, who were both starters and good starters as freshmen? Yeah, I think that's just the quote is where does Pickett fall on that sliding scale? Looks like Speedway Classic was a dud, postponed due to rain. Oh, no. Oh, they didn't play the game? The one at the Speedway? Oh, no. I feel Brian Kelly did a lot of good, but keeping Sloan as an OC just seems a bit risky. Oh, I completely disagree with that. I could not disagree with that more. I think Sloan's an excellent play caller. He had experience doing it before. I don't think your problem last year was Sloan. I think you just really struggled to run the football last year. And the other thing you point to is like, would you they say this all the time when people criticize play call, like, or what happens, like you don't know what you and me, us in the game, like we don't know what the play call was. So like, did the offensive line miss a block? Did a receiver run the wrong route? Did someone miss a read? Like we not knowing what the play call was Like, for example, go back 2016. 2016, the Florida game, where Darius Geis ran the wrong way, right? If Geis runs the right way, he walks into the end zone untouched. The play call was there. It was there for a score. I mean, it's just a very notable one that comes to mind, right? But like, if you just watch play go, why they're running right up the middle? Well, they weren't. It was supposed to go to the edge, and it was why it was there. So whatever. But I don't think I think Joe Sloan's fine. I think he is a great quarterbacks coach. That is evident. He deserves as much credit as anybody for developing Jaden Daniels. And he's worked with Nuss for his entire time at LSU. For Sloan's entire time at LSU's worked with Nuss. I think they have a great rapport. No, I will completely disagree with you on that. Ask Erica what does she think of the football season approaching and family life. I think she's getting Drew's backpack ready. And we're about to wrap up because I got to go to church. Hey, Drew, how do you think the team looks physically compared to championship teams? I'd have to go back and look and think about that, man, honestly. But I think this team. But I was talking to Buddy Sanji yesterday. We're watching the defensive line. He goes, "That's how it's supposed to look. Like if they had those guys in 23, it's a completely different season." He's right because you have big 350-pound dudes and space eaters and nasty physical guys. And you've got big giant receivers and fast receivers and a really good quarterback. And you have a deep, talented offensive line. I mean, yeah, you're like, it's how it's supposed to look, man. Like they've got all the talent there. It's, it's piecing it together over the course of a 12-game season. Hope to get yourself in the playoff and make a run. I think Stamps is better suited inside. To me, it just makes a ton of sense to have Pickett and Delaney as boundary guys. That's probably what's going to happen. And I don't know. Jakeem Jackson has had a little bit of a rough go so far. I'm not saying he won't end up being. He was a starter last year at Florida at the beginning of the season. He got hurt in the Miami game. But, I mean, maybe he's just had some tough draws early. Okay, y'all. Let's get out of here. I got to go. I'm going to pray for all of you at church. Thank you for being here. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Please go catch up on Locked on LSU. I dropped 2 episodes yesterday. One was my camp report episode and another episode on Deuce Geralds' commitment. So please check them out. I'd appreciate it. All right, y'all have a great day.